What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchiha here, back at you with another new Ultimate Universe What If. Now, this will be quite a new one, a fan by idea that kind of wanted to get done, and I wanted to do it myself. Now, I know other people already did What If Naruto with Scorpion and, did their own aspects about it, but I'm going to make it a little bit different. This will be What If Naruto with Scorpion 18 edition, but it's going to be 18X because what the hell, I like to go in detail, and I'm not going to ever stop going in detail. Now, how would this happen? How would Naruto get the nine tails of Cherokee? And how can he maintain the nine tails of Cherokee, you know, and become a Scorpion at the same time? For this to happen, we're going to have to kind of change the story around. Have to, you could say, move around things and make it happen. Now, I'm gonna make everybody 18 in this Naruto What If because I think it will be more, imagination. You could say get more imagination of Naruto being 18 instead of like a kid age and he's having sex and doing all that stuff and killing people. We're gonna do it a little bit younger age. We're gonna make him 18, mm, 18 or 17, one of those two. But yeah, we're gonna start off with Naruto. Basically, mm, we're gonna say the Nine Tails attack happened the same. Everything happened the same, except we're going to kind of change it up. You could say. When Danzo tells out the secret that Naruto is the Nine Tails of Cherokee, this is where everybody started chasing after Naruto stuff. And some people want Naruto dead, some people want Naruto to just be, you could say, put away as a cage beast. Now, of course, we're gonna say Naruto has. We're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna say he's the only one who's an orphan. So it's no one care about him. We're gonna say one time this is where Naruto was running and he pretty much get captured, or you pretty much get caught by one of the Chunin exam that hates Naruto. Now, this is the part where they sadly kill Naruto. Now, this is where Naruto dies, and he goes to, we're gonna say the Nether Realm. Now, this is where, I forgot his name, Quan I think Quan I forgot. Well, the dude with the white skin. Pretty much, he sees Naruto's in hell. Now, Naruto is so much enraged, saying, why did they kill me? Why did I have to die? What did I do to them? What did I ever do to hurt them and cause to hurt them and stuff? And he begins to clench his fist in anger. Now, of course, this is where Quan Chi sees this opportunity and he goes to him. Now, Quan Chi, we're gonna say he's working with the other guy, and they're right now trying to get enough souls to pretty much hell, what the hell? We're gonna say try to resurrect. I forgot his name. Uh, Lucane, Quan Chi, Ermac. We're gonna say Ermac. We're gonna say they're trying to collect souls to bring back Ermac because Ermac is there. We're gonna say their dangerous weapon. Now this is where Quan Chi goes up and says, "Hey kid, you want to get stronger to get back at them?" And we're gonna say for plot reasons, the Nine-Tailed Cherokee dies with Naruto. So when Naruto dies, we're gonna say if the user dies with the Cherokee not extracted out of him in time, the Cherokee will die like permanently. So we're gonna say no. We're gonna say the Cherokee die like it's different. So the Cherokee is basically going to like die with its user, but not like they only have like 10 seconds before they hop on to the next body. They don't go around free. They just their whole thing would just transform into another person's body. It doesn't have to be a powerful chakra user or not, basically. But yeah, let's continue. Pretty much, this is where Naruto begins to talk on Konoshi and make a deal with him to get him souls, for a change to get him back to life and to get his revenge on the Leaf Village. Now, of course, no one didn't go to Naruto's funeral because no one cares about Naruto, except for Ruzen. Ruzen is the only one in Hinata. Hinata Hyuga. Yeah, we're gonna say Sasuke comes there too, just to see who the kid who dies and realize it's Naruto and the Nine Tails Tricky, which they wasn't on great terms, but he kind of felt bad because he kind of wanted to be Naruto's friend. We're gonna say Sasuke had that feeling before his whole clan got massacred, so he's more empathy or more sad for Naruto. Everybody started going home and stuff, and Hinata was crying, saying, "This shouldn't have happened. What happened? He wasn't supposed to die," which, you know, that's what she's saying. Now we're gonna go back to Naruto, and we're gonna do some years of him turning 17. And we're gonna still like leave the events the same, but we're gonna just put them on off right there. Now this is where Quan Chi is training Naruto in hell. Now Naruto meets a person, it's Scorpion. Quan Chi sends Naruto out into other worlds with Scorpion to basically, kill targets, grab souls, and to get strong and all that stuff. And basically, the hone their training skills. This is where I'm gonna say one time, Naruto pretty much absorbed the soul, which he basically has Scorpion moves, but he's gonna have a little bit of Ermac moves combined. Now this is where he absorbs a soul, and he begins to feel more stronger. Now this is where Scorpion looks in. He makes a odd face, well, quite a surprising shock face. Now we're gonna say later after the mission, this is where Naruto and Scorpion sits in. Naruto asks Scorpion whole backstory and all that, which Scorpion begins to explain about how his clan got slaughtered by Sub-Zero brother, and basically he's going to get revenge by killing Sub-Zero and avenging his clan and all that. Which Scorpion feels bad for him and says that maybe you should figure out the true reason, like why he killed Judge the Clan, because something doesn't add up here. Because you say that clan killed, but regularly it has to be more of a motive, which Scorpion begins to think about and says, "Huh, I guess you're right." So that's gonna be like some changes in the Mortal Kombat universe, because we're gonna say Scorpion actually took Naruto advice with the Talk no Jutsu and actually worked with Sub-Zero and tried to figure out why he killed the clan, which Sub-Zero explains the whole thing. So it's gonna be quite a change, you could say, with Scorpion. Now this is where before Naruto goes and goes back and be given a second chance. Scorpion basically gives his two blades that he has from his clan and pretty much give it to Naruto, which Naruto pretty much thanks Scorpion. Scorpion says anything for my people, which Naruto is like a student that Scorpion taught, raised, and how to become a deadly assassin, and also taught him some fire techniques, you could say. Now, Quan Chi, of course, brought Naruto back to life and telling Naruto that the deal has made. They will only call back unless they need his help. But other than that, he's free to go and do what he wants. Now, Naruto's gonna look a little bit different, as he's not going to look like completely like Scorpion. He's going to his hair is gonna be black. No, Naruto's hair is gonna be yellow, but like kind of like a dark orangey yellow. And his eyes are gonna be white, pure white, as you could say he's an undead. He's still undead, so he can't really die or be killed. So he has that perk, as Quan Chi let him go, but he still have that perk of can't die and will turn his head into a skeleton, like people on fire shit. And his other buff is he can basically if he's in hell or anything that's like fire, if he gets burned, he can't get burned. He's fireproof. Um, if he gets if he gets put in hell, he gets stronger in hell, and if he gets put in another room or anything that's like a hot place, he's very powerful. And and what the hell? We're gonna give Naruto all chakra natures, because I'm gonna experiment with the techniques of abilities in this what if, and also Naruto's going to have all Scorpion techniques and styles and the special chain of get over here. So I just explained along the way, but let's continue. Pretty much, Naruto pretty much gets sent back, and we're gonna say he's 17 now. uh 17 now. Yeah, this is where Naruto begins to take off his hood and he clenches his fist, saying, "I'm going to kill. I know who I'm going to kill first." And he pretty much aiming for Hiruzen. Now, this is where Hiruzen is pretty much at the at his desk doing the paper and by himself, and this is where he start crying and saying, Kushina, Minato, I have failed you. I failed to keep your son alive. I failed to be the one that you promised me to protect, and I mean to protect him." And he started crying. This is where Naruto appears upside down up on the wall and pretty much dropped down and says, "I have came back from the dead, Hiruzen." Which this is where he pulls out the blade. Which this is where Hiruzen begins to cry and say, "Naruto, is it really you?" And begins to share more tears. Which Naruto says, "Yeah, it's me. Do I look different?" Which Naruto has his blade out and ready to cut off Hiruzen's head. This where Hiruzen says, "I see you're here to kill me, to satisfy your vengeance. If it's his vengeance you want, you can happily take my life." Which Hiruzen started saying, "But please leave the village alone. It was my responsibility to protect you and stuff, but the villagers, they know nothing but hatred and all that." Which Naruto begins to put back his blade and says, "Fine, Hiruzen, I won't kill you, but I want one thing." Which Hiruzen asks, "What is it?" "Anything." Which Naruto explains this as that he wants a pass in the testing thing, in the graduation thing, so he doesn't have to test or anything. And two, that he wants to have a good team. Well, no, yeah, he wants to have a good team. Well, he wants to be on a team, which Hiruzen agrees those both things and pretty much allows it. And Naruto asks one more thing. He's gonna ask for a pair of Sharingans. Actually, you know what? No, we always do Sharingans. Let's do uh Byakugans. Two Byakugans. Because we're gonna say, hey, Naruto still have that Uzumaki DNA, so he can work his way up to the Tetsugyan if he wanted to. Now, this is where Hiruzen's thinking about the third one, but he agrees and gives Naruto eyes, some new eyes, because we're gonna say since he has smoke eyes, everybody's gonna be terrified of Naruto, so he wants to have a different demeanor. So this is where Naruto gets a transplant, and of course the Hyuga compound knows about this and knows that Naruto took the Hyuga's Byakugan, but Hiruzen gave in a favor, so that's why he has it without the Hyuga being mad at him. After that, this is where Naruto started heading into the academy at graduation, and this is where Hinata sees Naruto and heard the news that Naruto is alive. Because we're gonna say only the Hyuga members knows about the secret of Naruto coming back to life, but they don't know how. And Hinata eavesdrop. So this is where, of course, Hinata looking around for Naruto to see if he's really alive, and she begins to see that Naruto's over there, pretty much waiting for the everybody else to come. This is where she runs and hugs Naruto, which Naruto is a little bit, uneasy because, like I said, he regularly was in hell, in the nether realm, you could say hell, and constantly training and prepared to kill anything and chop off heads and also hearts and stuff. So yeah, he pretty much started says, hello, she which Hinata pretty much starts to cry and runs in and kisses him. I mean, or you could say jumps and kisses him. This is where, of course, Naruto begins to blush and say, "Why did you kiss me for?" Which she pretty much starts to blush to and say, I'm sorry, Naruto, but I just really had feelings for you before you died, and I wanted to confess this to you." Which Naruto is a little bit shocked that a girl confessed her feelings to him, but he pretty much you know keeps a cool and just says, "Oh." so you do have feelings for her, which she pretty much says, yeah. This is where Naruto agrees to accept her feelings and say that they will go on a date after this graduation, which Hinata smiles and says that it's a date then. Now, after after the whole graduation and Naruto pretty much re-showing himself and everybody realized that Naruto was back alive, this is where Naruto's going on a date with Hinata. After the date with Hinata, and they pretty much have a good time. Now, this is going to be a 18 plus part, so we might as well, go into detail. Now, after the whole date, this is where Naruto takes Hinata to his house, and they begins to start doing some things. Now, this is where they get undressed and stuff, and Naruto's and they're completely naked, and Naruto's making out with Hinata. This is where Naruto says he's gonna stick it in, and this is where Hinata says, "I'm ready." Now, as Naruto sticks his penis in Hinata's vagina, this is where she does a little noise, or a little moan, you could say. Now, this is where Naruto looks down and realizes that Hinata was a virgin, and Naruto is her first, which she says to go slowly, which Naruto begins to go slow. Now, this was a passionate love, you could say, sex thing. So they're very doing it slowly, and you could say they had the joy of the night. And Naruto did nut in the sauce, you could say. Now, after Naruto done nut in the sauce, he begins to, lie in bed with Hinata all the way to the next day. Yeah, all the way to the next day. Now, well, nah, let's take that back. Yeah, which Naruto is pretty much sleeping with Hinata and it's nighttime. This is where Naruto gets up and we're gonna say head outside to get some fresh air till he sees we're gonna say another student takes the scroll. This is where Naruto asks, "What the hell? Why did he takes the scroll of this girl stealing?" Which this is where the kid explains that Minato, Minty, no Miski said that he will basically guarantee him graduation if he takes the scroll stealing and hands it to him. This is where Naruto knows that something's not right and begins to tell the kid to go home while he takes the scroll, which the kid does exactly that. This is where Naruto goes in the forest and pretty much before he goes, he looks in the scroll and he sees two very good satisfying techniques. Which one is the flame raging, which I want to do mix it up with a little bit with Scorpion moves, so that's why I want him to have that, and also yeah, the multi shot clone jutsu, which I want him to also have that, and he's going. And you know what? I'm gonna give Naruto infinite chakra. We're gonna give him infinite chakra because, like, yeah, it's an 18x, so we like the little bit busted open. So let's continue. Pretty much after that, this is where what should I say? Yeah, when Naruto is basically heading in the forest, this is where he meets Mitsuki, and Mitsuki says, "Oh, Naruto, you're here." Which this is where Naruto says, "All right, cut the shit. I know you. I know you're the one who's trying to take the scroll and get out of the village." Which Mitsuki says, "So you notice, huh? You Naruto security." This is where Naruto is not startled because we're gonna say in the nether realm as Naruto was training and stuff. This is where the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki kind of made his notice to try to add in the extra fear into Naruto. But Naruto, he's not afraid. So Kurama and Naruto bond is pretty much up to a pretty much an 8. Nah, a 9. Yeah, pretty much a 9. Because Naruto respects Kurama, Kurama respects Naruto, and they made a pretty much good bond as they was getting out of the nether realm. So yeah, this is where Kurama pretty much says to Naruto, "Naruto, you know what you must do, right?" Which uh this is where Naruto says yeah. And this is where he does the kunai throw at Miski's chest and pulls him to him and says, "Get over here!" And this is where Naruto sliced Mitsuki kneecaps, both his kneecaps, making him fall to the ground, and pretty much steps aside and chops Mitsuki face off, you could say, and pretty much, hit the ground, and the blood start spilling out, which you we're gonna say you hear a fatality, which Naruto looks around and doesn't know what that came from, but he pretty much starts to head home. Before he head home, he gives the scroll to Hiruzen, which Hiruzen thanks Naruto, and Naruto heads back in the bed and lays with Hinata, which Hinata asks where he went, which Naruto says that he pretty much just wanted to get some fresh air. Now the next day, Naruto is pretty much going and dressed with teams, and he's pretty much wearing a hoodie, which he looks scary with the mask on because he doesn't want to show his face and stuff, and also Scorpion, so he put that influence on him, and also his eyes is white still, but it has the Byakugan. Now this is where the teams are getting assigned, and this is where they start assigning the teams. For team, everything team is the same except for Team 7. It's gonna be Sasuke. Hmm. Actually, no. It's gonna be Kiba. Actually, no. It's gonna be Shigemaru, Naruto, and Hinata. Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy. I want to make a crazy transformation because let's not constantly have the same T7. It's just bad. Constantly over and over again doing the Team 7 of Sasuke, uh, Soccer, and Naruto. Let's switch it up. Let's make a crazy combination, and then we might do an all girls combination next time. Depends. But let's continue. Pretty much, Naruto pretty much is in Team 7 with Kakashi as their instructor, and they pretty much go away from Shikamaru is pretty much, just laying there saying this is the drag waiting for the instructor, while Naruto is pretty much just chilling with him, sharpening his blade, saying it quite is being inferior, which he got that little temper, that little impatient temper from Scorpion, which he's saying, yeah, this is getting very frustrating. This is where Hinata sit is sitting beside Naruto and a little bit still shy, but lays on Naruto's shoulder, which Naruto doesn't mind because well they did it after all. So Naruto pretty much claimed that ass, you could say. Now this is where Kakashi comes in and he pretty much looks at the whole team and he sees Shikamaru, also Naruto and can we switch out Shikamaru with Kiba? Yeah, because I want that relationship to still be the same in this Naruto thing. So we're gonna switch out, guys. We're gonna switch out Naruto. I mean, not Naruto. Shikamaru with Kiba because Toby and then Kiba. Yeah, Kiba because I want him to pretty much form a relationship with Kiba for reasons. This yeah. So that whole talk is pretty much with Kiba pretty much being impatient and also talking about soccer, how he wants to date her and stuff. Now after that, this where Kakashi looks at the whole team and says, "Huh, interesting." And tells everybody, everybody's is different. Kiba's is pretty much his goal is wants to become, actually, yeah, wants to become Hokage, and to get and to have everybody to have dogs in the whole Leaf Village because dogs is the shit and stuff you could say. And his love life is to be with Sakura, which Naruto is smiling because, saying this is actually quite nice. Hinata is quite the same. Hers is also wants to get strong and to be strong for the ones she loves and also to just be, strong enough to have recognition, you could say. And Naruto's goal, his dream is basically to become Hokage, but not only a Hokage, the best of the best Hokage, the force to have every nation to bow down and to be in one unity, we could say. which Kakashi gets a light out, bro, but he more likely is quiet. But he's not saying anything, out of ordinary because, you know, Kakashi was pretty much uptight set of what happened to Naruto and feels guilty that Naruto is pretty much like this state of mind. So, yeah, Naruto's not afraid to hesitate to kill or anything. But let's continue. Pretty much after that, Kakashi tells everybody to come tomorrow and to meet at the let's see to meet to do a bell test, which everybody is a test tomorrow, which everybody agrees and start heading home. This is where we're gonna say Hinata. We're gonna say for you being 17 or 18, you have your own house. If you're like a clan member, you have the choice to stay at your own house or to pretty much go stay at your clan house and live over there. So kind of like a college dorm. And you can live with other people too. So Hinata is living with Naruto because Naruto is a con is you could say is more calming and like Hinata, and always he pushes her to train harder. And plus, I want that development of Hinata and Naruto to grow, but also to help her get stronger. So that fight to come up with Neji. Now, Hinata's pretty much walking home with Naruto, and Kiba begins to talk that he's gonna see them tomorrow and stuff. And Naruto tells Kiba uh, that he sees him there, and they begins to start all heading home. Now the next day, Hinata's pretty much waiting with Naruto, and she's pretty much nervous and activating her Byakugan, looking around, trying to see if Kakashi is hiding everywhere or is this to really test. Which Naruto tells her to calm down. He's not here right now. He's just really late. Which Kiba is pretty much saying, this is a goddamn waste," and pretty much getting pissed off. Which this is where Naruto calms down Kiba and tells him that don't worry, he bought some food for everybody. And this is where Kiba and dogs start, I think, getting excited and begins to start eating food with them, and they all start having a good meal. Of course, this is where Kakashi comes in and sees them eating and saying, "Y'all gonna puke since y'all ate," which Naruto gave Kakashi an extra meal, saying that he made one for him too. Which we're gonna say Hinata and Naruto picked up a cooking habit together, so Naruto wanted to cook a meal for everybody. Just for a little kindness. Have his like same demeanor personality, but a little bit with Scorpions. Now, this is where of course Kakashi, after the whole meal, begins to explain what they have to do in the bell test, which Naruto is thinking that there are only two bells, so it's not about whoever to grab the bell and the other group grab the bell first can win, but instead of working teamwork to grab both bells together. Now, of course, this is where Kakashi Kakashi explains that one of them is going to be dismissed. With all three of them is shocked that that's going to happen, but they still stay determined to get the bells. Now this is where Naruto, before anything happened, already talks to Kiba and says that this might be a teamwork test to see if we're really good as a team, and explains what's the plan, which Kiba agrees and Hinata agrees. Now when Kakashi already explains his stuff and says, "Alright, Mark, get set, go," this is where uh, Naruto does a teleport, which Kakashi is shocked that he just see Naruto went underground, and this is where Naruto appears right behind Kakashi, and we're gonna say he grabs the two bells and gives one to Hinata and one to Kiba, and pretty much explains that did we pass, which Kakashi, uh, well, we're gonna say Kakashi lets them pass, but he explains to Naruto that he's supposed to use teamwork and work together with his team members, which Naruto agrees and pretty much begins to start heading heading back home. This is where Naruto tells Hinata that he's going to head to the forest for a minute, and he meets her at home, which Hinata agrees and start heading back home. This is where Naruto heads to a specific part at the forest with a map, because we're gonna say that sinless girl had a map to have a summoning or a spirit. well, we're gonna say a summoning. This is where Naruto makes a contract with a crow. Yeah, with a crow. Now, this crow is gonna be like Itachi's crow, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna give different effects. I mean, different effects, but it's going to be like kind of like give you a one genjutsu to do whatever you want. Well, three genjutsus that you can do whatever you want, but you have to wait for them to cool down. It might take a week, maybe a month. But the crow summoning is gonna be his summoning thing. Now this is where Naruto summons the crow, and the crow pretty much we're gonna say speaks to Naruto and pretty much says, "So are you the one who summoned me? Do you wish up my power?" Which Naruto says, "Yes, I wish up your power." Which the crow pretty much says, "Then look into my eyes." Which when Naruto look in the crow eyes, the crow looks in Naruto eyes, and this is where the crow kind of, we're gonna say, infect the Byakugan, as it's going to kind of give it one of the abilities for the Sharingan, as put people in Genjutsu, and the rest of the abilities are going to be the same. Now, after Naruto pretty much closes his eyes, he realized that blood is coming down, which the crow pretty much says that he gave him one of his abilities, and if he gets strong enough, he can get to stage 3 or maybe 5. Depends on how strong the willpower he can have, which Naruto agrees upon. Now, after that whole, detachment and stuff, this is where the crow, well, flies on his shoulder and flies away, or disappears, you could say, or fly around. So that's like Naruto's third eye, to pretty much see around his surroundings, but also to give messages and stuff in secretly. Now, after that, Naruto pretty much heads back home, and the next day happens. Now, this is where they're all doing like the low rank missions and stuff, and doing all that stuff and doing those missions. This is where, of course, we're gonna say Kiba and Naruto and Hinata gets bored and depends. I mean, asks for a higher mission, which Hiruzen agrees upon. Not because also he feels guilt for Naruto, but also wants to have Naruto get strong. Which Naruto is strong, it is, but he's just, you could say, more dangerous. Now, this is where they get a higher mission, and it's to protect the Tazuna, or the escort Tazuna, or protect Tazuna, you want to say, and begins to start going. Now, as they going, this is where, of course, Naruto is walking very slowly, which Tazuna begins to start. I'm not gonna say his shit and start saying, "Oh, I don't know why these chunies, not genies, not junies, but chunies. Yeah, these chunies are basically protecting me. They don't even look strong enough." Which looks down, and this is where Naruto pretty much lifts up his face and shows the skeleton, telling him to shut the fuck up. Which Kakashi says, "Now, Naruto," which Ta- which Tanzan is scared shitless after seeing Naruto's skeletal face, but pretty much he shuts up. Now, as they go in, this is where the the twin demon brothers start attacking, and we're gonna say Naruto and Kiba pretty much, since they're like 17, and the dog, we're gonna say Kiba dog is much older in this, and Naruto's much older and skilled with scorpion techniques. They pretty much just whoops the twin brothers' ass and pretty much defeated them. Now, after that whole defeat, this is where Naruto, we're gonna say, try out one of the genjutsus and ask why they did this, and they begins to display what's going on and the whole situation, and spill the whole beans on Tazuna whole mission thing. And this is where Tazuna begins to start, saying he's sorry, he didn't mean to trick them, he had to do it because, he didn't have enough money and he just wanted to get that bridge done. Which this is where Naruto says it's whatever, we're still going to get this job done and we don't need extra backup, which Kakashi says all right, and they continue to start going. After they start going, this is where they see a bunch of fog. Now, as they see a bunch of fog, this is where Hinata and Naruto begins to look, and they see that there's two people. This is where Naruto, let's say it's to Kakashi, there's two people here, which Hinata is shocked that Naruto knows there are two people here. This is where Hinata asks Naruto how does he know which. Naruto explains that he has a Byakugan, has the Byakugan, which she's shocked that he has the Byakugan, which he can barely notice, but Naruto begins to explain. And she says, oh, okay. Which she's not really mad, but she's kind of like shocked, you could say. Now, after that, this is where Zabuza yeah, throws this big blade when they get a little bit closer, and Naruto pretty much dodges and pretty much pulls out his blade and kunai, and begins to say, well, no, he pretty much pulls out his chain, gets his chain kunai, and put it on the back side. It says, huh, so you must, so who you must be, which Zabuza explains his whole name and explains that he's one of the legendary seven swordsmen, and he's here to kill Chasa, which this is where Naruto says, sorry, okay, hold on, let me focus. Okay, yeah, this is where Naruto pretty much says that, yeah, says that he's not gonna kill no one, and he should pretty much just get out of here while he still has the chance. This is where, of course, Zabuza is listening. He starts charging at Naruto. Now, as he's charging at Naruto, this is where Naruto dodges his attack and pretty much start using those combos and whooping his ass, whooping Zabuza's ass. This is where Zabuza backs up and try to do a hand seal. I mean, a hand sign to use the water dragon until Naruto chain pull him and bring him back, grabbing, pretty much grabbing him and hitting him with an uppercut and making him land back in water. Before anything else can happen, this is where Naruto teleports and pretty much use the X-ray. At first, when Zabuza get back up, Naruto punches Zabuza in the face. And we're gonna use the Scorpion X-ray from Mortal Kombat. The new, not the new one. Hold on, I forgot. Well, y'all won't understand this X-ray. This is where Naruto pretty much punch Zabuza in the face, cracking his whole face. You could say his jaw, his face, sending him back, falling to the ground. And as Zabuza hits the ground, and dazed and face is bleeding, Naruto pretty much walks up and stomp on his chest, which he steps on the middle rib cage, cracking the inner works of his rib cage, and which Zabuza cough up even more blood and pretty much down for the count. As Zabuza is down, this is where Haku immediately throws symbols and hurry up and grabs Zabuza and gets out of there. Which Naruto realized that that was probably his getaway, just in case if he fucks up. As Zabuza and Haku's gone, this is where Naruto grabs up the Executioner blade and says, "Huh, I like this blade." Which Naruto pretty much lifts it up with ease, which Kiba is shocked and Hinata is shocked, and also Kakashi. But this is where Naruto gives it to Hinata and tells Hinata it's as their gift. You could say there as a gift to her of how much he adores her, which Hinata blushes and pretty much puts the sword on the back of her back, which Hinata's gonna have the executioner blade. And yes, Hinata has a different personality, a little bit of a low personality, but a personality that's determined to get stronger and also kick your ass with whatever means necessary. So yeah, Hinata's gonna have the executioner blade because I want her to. And what the hell? We're gonna give Hinata those buffs. So yeah, let's continue to the story. After that encounter, this is where everybody heads in the house, and this is where Kakashi starts teaching everybody how to use water walk and tree walk because he's not out of injury because he's not out of energy because he didn't really fight like that. So yeah, after that, we're gonna say Kiba Naruto gets it once because Naruto he's much more intelligent and he has the quality chakra control, and plus Kuruma's not interfering with that. Hinata Takes her about 2 times, but she gets it. Kiba 3 times, four, nah, four, because he just has to do it 4 times. Now, this is where Naruto goes and gets a break, and he begins to hear someone talk to him, which is Haku. Now, this is where Naruto and Haku have their encounters and start talking and stuff, and what they believe and all that stuff. This is where Naruto tells tells Haku to not come to the bridge tomorrow, and not to and don't help Zabuza, or they're both gonna die in this encounter. Which this is where Haku starts to starts to tell him that she has to do this stuff, which Naruto tells her this. Well, I'll give you this. If I'm going to just manage to tell you, I'm just not going to kill you. I'm just going to take y'all down. Which Naruto says that if y'all won't listen, then I'm just going to have to beat y'all down to listen. Which Haku is shocked by this, but she says we'll see. Now we're going to get to the bridge fighting part. Now this is where Hinata's, of course, holding the execution blade, and Zabuza is saying that, what do you think you're doing with that? Which this is where Naruto give tells Hinata that don't worry, he's not gonna ever get his executioner blade back from you. Which Zabuza say, I'm gonna make you regret those words, kid, and begins to start charge at uh Kakashi and them, while Kiba goes in the fight with Haku, which of course the mirror thing happened, and now Naruto has to go in there. This is where Naruto tells Hinata to protect Kakashi and protect Naruto and watch out for Kakashi and help him out, which um, Hinata agrees and starts helping out Kakashi. Start going to help out Kakashi. Now, as that's happening, this is where Naruto reaches in the mirror and he begins to see that Kiba is a little bit injured. Not badly injured, but a little bit injured. And he's pretty much saying, what took you so long, Naruto? Which Naruto says, sorry, it's bad. Which this is where uh, Naruto pretty much telling Haku that she's making this real easy for him, which Haku is pretty much looking at saying that this look easy to you, and begins to shoot 1,000 symbol needles at Naruto. As Naruto get hits by them, he pretty much does. We're gonna do as a funny thing. He pretty much just sneezed and blew out all the symbol needles, which Kiba is shocked that what he's saying right now, including Haku. This is where Naruto says, "I'm about to end this," and rips off his mask and shows a whole skull with sharp red eyes. We're gonna say that's the Kurama. A little bit detail to it, and he begins to set fire to flame everywhere to the glass mirror, and pretty much melts it. As he melts it, pretty much Haku has to hop out, and we're gonna say it takes a lot of chakra from her hand. I mean, a chakra, so she's really tired. This is where she's about to try to move out the way until Naruto teleports in front of her and pretty much karate chops her in the neck and knocks her out. This is where, of course, Zabuza is. This is where Kakashi gets out the lightning blade, about to pierce Zabuza until Naruto comes in and gets stabbed by it. Which Kakashi realized that, he just killed Naruto and he's about to go nuts until Naruto pretty much pulls it out and says, "Ah, God, that lightning blade is dangerous. Thank God, thank God, how much I would have died if I didn't have this power." Which Kakashi, begins to stop tearing and says, "Oh," and pretty much says, "What?" This is where, of course, the goon, the boss guy, I forgot his name, pretty much comes in and all his henchmen is ready to, kill everybody until Naruto says, I got this. Zabuza, Zabuza, you need to know. You need to learn not to. And Naruto gives a whole speech to Zabuza about using people as tools and stuff. And Zabuza learns his lesson and begins to, you know, join beside Naruto and helps out, which, they pretty much do with those guys. And it's going to be named the Great Naruto Bridge, as in canon. Now, of course, this is where Zabuza is about to go. and pretty much start to go and say he's gonna go and try to live his life nice and peaceful. And this is where Haku is about to walk with Zabuza, but Zabuza tells Haku that, you know, she can do whatever she wants. She can go eat, stay with that little Naruto fella guy if she wants to, which she begins to start blushing, which Zabuza smiles and tells her that they can meet back. They can come meet back when it's the right time, which Haku says yeah. And Haku pretty much goes and joins in with Naruto. Pretty much, you could say, to become part of the story. Yeah. And Kakashi pretty much smiles and says, well, this is called a mission success. Now, this is part 1 of What If Naruto was Scorpion 18 plus. If you like, 18X, you want to say. If you like, leave a like, comment, do all that stuff. But I'm Keyshawn Chiga. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.